Three, two, one. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Nine Hole Podcast. This is your host, Ian Miller. I am joined today, like every single Wednesday, by Nick Dini, and we're here to talk about some baseball. Deans, how you doing, brother?
What's up, Mill? I'm good,
Nothing.
bro. Ready to get into it. Let's do it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So, right off the bat, there has been a lot of news in the youth baseball space. There were some fisticuffs thrown this weekend. Some assaults going on. Right, we'll jump right. We'll jump right into that. But first, did you watch the All-Star game?
I
Did you watch
did.
the Home Run Derby?
Home run derby. Parts of the All-Star game, I didn't really dive into it, but I was like watching the home run derby,
Okay.
like pretty extensively.
So I had Bobby Witt Jr.
So did I. I had a ticket on Bobby Witt Jr.
I had Bobby Witt Jr. winning that bad boy.
Me too.
Obviously, it came down to the last round. Last swing, literally hit off the top, like the middle of the fence to tie it, maybe to force a swing off, bro. I had a couple takes, man. People are talking about the jerseys. People are talking about the home run derby format. Dude, I saw Bobby Witt Jr. swinging at pitches above his head, actually. I saw Bobby Witt Jr. swinging a pitch above his head, put a good swing on it, but it's like, yo, I think the guy was a lefty that was throwing. He was
Yeah.
related to him, or he had some sort of relationship with him that he was there. But that was absolute dumpy BP, man. I'd love to see maybe the same BP thrower for everybody. That would be great. Or a machine. I know some people can't hit off a machine, dude. But I'd love
Yeah.
to see maybe if we're going to gather the best home run hitters around, maybe we have it be an even playing field, maybe, because if Bobby Witt Jr. has to try to hit home runs off pitches over his head, maybe he's at a disadvantage, although he also did pick the BP thrower. And then do the format. Right, 3 minutes or 40 swings, whatever comes first, bro. That I'd probably throw up after I took 25 swings in a row. You know what I mean?
Well, dude, when you sent over the talking points for today, that's exactly what I wrote down. So I know Bobby, played with Bobby, one of the best people in baseball, like supremely talented, but a better person. One of those guys. That was his brother-in-law who pitched over
Okay.
10 years in the big leagues. I'm like,
Oh no!
this guy spent a career missing barrels. He doesn't know how
Oh
to find them.
no!
Yeah, so that was my take on it. Like I think when you have rules for a home run derby that take that long to explain, there's going to be some holes in it. Like I think it's as much a stamina event than it is a home run event, right? Like I remember the home run derby, like obviously the one home run derby that stands out in my mind is Josh Hamilton at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah,
And
baby.
that format, like this format, the way it is, it puts so much emphasis on the BP thrower, like you said, because you get 40 pitches. That could be 30 swings. That could be 40 swings. Like, so obviously a guy that can fill it up and, put the ball where you want, the hitter has an advantage because he's going to get off more swings. Like and that was the most impressive thing about Bobby Witt. Like you saw home runs that he hit where his hands are like on his body inside, like up at his face, and he's doing it like super impressive kid and player. But yeah, dude, I miss the old format, quite honestly. Like if you're worried about time, it's a 3-hour event regardless. Like that took 3
100%.
hours. I'd rather see, like I miss the days when it was 500-foot home runs and you're seeing these majestic home runs. And if that meant like dudes having to take a breather and like watch a pitch, so be it. But like the 40, like the speed rounds, I just think it makes it more of a stamina event than it does like watching just like the best hitters hit balls further than like people think is possible.
100%, bro. 100%.
And you see it like a lot of those, the participants are like, they're like Pete Alonso was the biggest, I would say, power guy in that event. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like the judges and all those guys, like the real big home run hitters, they're not in the event. It's a lot of swings.
Vlad, dude.
That's what I mean. Yeah, like give me an event with those guys.
Harper.
Yes. Yep.
Would have loved. I would have tuned in. You know what I mean? I didn't.
Yeah.
I watched the brief recap, dude. I didn't need to take 3 hours to watch that. Dude, yeah. Bobby Witt Jr. is obviously a freak athlete. We've played AAA right together 2021. Man, he was nasty. You guys were absolutely nasty. Brick Wall Baseball in the chat. Thank you for being here, brother. Again, always here. I love that. Bring back the 10 out format, dude. Could not agree more. I
Yep.
love the 10 out format, dude. Then we kind of put an emphasis on the shit that we're looking for. This is why we're tuning in, right? I want to see the art of these guys hitting the longest, coolest home runs out of 10 pitches, bro. 10 outs. I thought that was great. I don't like the cardio format behind it, bro. Like these guys
Yeah.
are big power hitters with exception of maybe Bobby Witt Jr. He can hit the ball out of the yard, but it's not he's an athlete. Like he's a skinny dude, you know what I mean? Not
He
that he's not
leads.
a power hitter.
Yeah.
Not that he's not a power hitter. I'm just saying like that guy is probably more out conditioned than like Vlad, or maybe even a Bryce
Oh
Harper,
yeah.
right? He plays a premier position. But I'd love to see these guys like cemented at home plate, taking 10 swings, 10 outs, see if you can hit 7 or 8 out of 10 swings. Man, I'd love that. I'd love that. Even the playing field with maybe a decent BP thrower, right? That would be sick too. Dude, the jerseys I was kind of out on. The All-Star game jerseys, the bright colorful ones, man, I never really took a liking to that, right? The City Connect, some of these City Connect jerseys are loud and stuff. Some of them are great. I think some of them are kind of like, ooh, I don't know, man. The jerseys were, the jerseys were kind of to me. Uh, Brick wall baseball, yeah. Let these monsters be selective with their swings and launch balls, bro. That's what I'm saying. I feel like that's what I just tried to say. I just didn't verbalize it very well, so that's my bad. I love that. I love that. Um, we got what's her name, dude? We got Ingrid Andress. Did everybody see that? Okay, so she butchered it. She butchered it. Everybody's talking about, man, what do we got going on? She's got to be drunk or high. It's disrespectful. Is she a bad singer? What do we got? Was she not prepared? She comes out the next day and she said, "Hey, I'll be honest with you. I was fucking blackout drunk. I was messed up, and I'm gonna check into like rehab and stuff." Great. If you check out the comments, it's like, "Hey, dude, nah, 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 nah." So like people are really like trying to kind of bury her a little bit. I feel bad, but man, it was a tough performance. So if you're a singer songwriter, right, you make a career out of it. I mean, if you're drunk, man, I feel like you could probably sing all right. That's just my take, right? I don't know what's going on. People are calling her out saying that she's faking it. People are calling her out and saying she's faking it. That it was just a bad performance. She's not a good singer, bro. What do you got on that? I don't even know what to believe.
Yeah. I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt. And if she says that, because she looked a little off, quite
Yeah,
frankly.
dude.
But I was saying, bro, like I said, if one person's really happy, it's Fergie, because she gets off the hook a little bit after that
Bro, does this beat
NBA
that?
All-Star game.
Is
I
that
think
worse?
so.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
so. Dude, it
yeah.
was bad. It was bad. And yeah, so I said this, like I was thinking about it, and I was actually talking to my wife about it. I was like, yo, like I at time we've all had nights where the night gets away from us, and it's just like holy crap. But like, and your friends say, oh, you stupid shit that you do, right? And it's like this girl had to wake up and like trend on Twitter and like listen over and over to how bad, like an iconically bad performance that she put on, and she's got to live with that, and she's got people in the mentions, people blowing her up, telling her about how bad it is. And I said sometimes like dude, I'll listen to myself talk, whether it be like on a message that I'm leaving somebody, or like just hearing myself speak, and I'll like cringe. I'm like, ew, I can't listen to myself. Times a million, this girl's got to wake up and listen to herself sing the national anthem the way that she did. You feel for her. You hope she's okay. You hope she gets better, if that was the case. But yeah, historically bad performance. That's just kind of took the the home run derby kind of took a back seat for a while. Like that
Yeah,
was
dude.
kind of like this is that grabbed the attention. So, and I did see something like, and dude, it's so crazy because now you start like conspiracy theorists all around. Like apparently she has like a new album or something coming out soon. Like I never heard of her
Oh,
beforehand. Where now I'm wondering, like,
is it a stunt to
is
drive
it a
traffic?
yeah, like I know who she is now, and I'll remember that name forever. Oh, she was the one who butchered the
Dude,
The home run
Butchered.
derby, completely
Butchered.
butchered.
So like, okay, she's blackout drunk, she says, right? Dude, but if you are a singer and songwriter and you're blackout drunk, what amount of alcohol makes you lose the ability to, you know what I mean? Like, okay, I'm not a professional singer, so I don't necessarily know what I'm talking about, dude. But like, I don't know, man. That was bad. That was bad. I don't. Now that you're saying it, dude, it kind of like makes sense. Imagine she's trying to drive traffic to what she's got coming out. That's a hell of a way to do it. That's a hell
Did
of a way to do it if that's the case.
Did you know who she was before she performed?
Absolutely not. But I know
No
now.
idea.
I know who she
You're
is
gonna
now.
you're gonna hear it's Elge, whatever the however her name is said. But as soon as I hear it, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, I remember her. So if that is the case, bravo. Like if you want to look and have that reputation amongst the country, I'll listen to your album. I'll see if it shakes out and what checks out and what
Absolutely.
doesn't. But horrendous, bad. I
Yeah,
could have done that. I
it
could have
was
done that.
tough,
I
man.
think I could have done that.
We got Lee Cohen in the chat saying, "What up? What up,
What's
boys?
up,
What's up,
Lee?
Nick?
What's
Good to
up,
have you
Logue?
here, bro. Appreciate you being here, man." So, okay, we got Logan VL zero
Logan.
five.
That's
What
my
up, Nick?
guy. What's up, Logie?
So we got a 12U. We got another brawl. We have another little league throwdown that happened this weekend, man. A 12U baseball fight between a coach and an umpire. So this was the state little league tournament. We're talking about 12U here, fellas. We're talking 12U. These guys are under 12 years old, and we're throwing fists here. We're talking about assault, dude. So a third base coach or the coach on one of these teams got tossed because of bad language, right? So the umpire was saying, hey, man, you can't do that here. You're out. The coach comes up, pushes him like aggressively, dude, out of the frame. The umpire comes back with his mask, that metal mask in his hand, and he just comes up swinging, dude. They get broken up. I guess play is just stopped. The game's fucking ruined. They shut it down, dude. And people are talking. The cops were called. I guess they're trying to press assault charges. I don't know what's happening, dude. It brings shame on the organization. It brings shame to the little league. It brings shame just pretty much everywhere with everybody involved. What are your thoughts on this, man? It happened in Wilson, North Carolina. Um, what kind of we've been talking about trying to make baseball fun again for kids, setting a good example, doing the right thing, right? Going about shit the right way. We'll talk about like reactionary versus sit and kind of think about something before you make a move. It's the fifth inning. They're losing by a lot. Obviously, I'm sure tempers are high, but this coach in front of his players is pushing. They're starting to fight, bro. What do you got on this? Have you ever experienced anything like this when you were playing, man?
No,
Nothing.
no, never experienced. I mean, not at that level. I mean, I've seen coaches even at a professional level like get into it with an umpire, they get ejected, they voice their opinion, they move on their way. Have I ever seen fist fly? No, but I think it's just another case of like the coach trying to fill this baseball void that they have within them through 12-year-olds and winning. Like we all want to win. Like we're not trying to raise and like a lot like make losing like okay, you know what I mean? Like I think it's okay to like want to win that bad, but like at what cost? Because like I've also said this on this show and talked about how like when you're 12, you hope kids play long enough that they don't remember the baseball aspect of what it was like when they were coming up at 10, 11, 12 years old. You want them to remember the times they had, the relationships, the friendships, all that stuff that grows over time when you're doing like a collective activity together to where you develop those friendships. And for me, it's like I just can't like I have to think that for all these kids when they're our age and they're sitting there and they're talking about their playing days, this moment is going to be at the forefront of what they remember from their youth days of playing
100%,
baseball.
bro.
You know what I mean? So like now this coach who I'm sure this is the lowest moment of his life because I know it was a town team that this happened to. So like he's known around town. Chances are the parents all know each other and are somewhat close. He's been coaching these kids if they're 12. I got to imagine. I'm just insinuating here. Maybe since they're 8, 9, 10 years old. So he has that relationship. So this is probably the lowest point of his coaching career and maybe of his life. Like, this is an extremely embarrassing thing that he did, especially considering it's a 12U baseball game. So I'm not going to sit here and like talk about his character as a person, but this moment, it's a bad moment for him, and it's something that his kids are going to remember forever. And for them, I feel for them, because they're going to, a lot of the baseball that they're playing is not going to be remembered. They're going to remember the time their coach tried to fight an umpire and actually did fight. And a couple things in this video I wanted to talk about too, Mill. It's like, which is speaks to how crazy this is. When the coach is going to talk to the umpire, you see like the players from, I think it was third base, and the on deck batter like moving towards the coach, almost like acting as the get back guy. Like, coach, like, come on. Like, so 12-year-olds are having to police your behavior and what you're getting into. And then in an instant, when that mask start, or when the shove happens and the like over the shoulder mask to the coach's head happens, you just see those kids like frantically back up and move towards their dugout, like in fear. So it's like, number one, you have kids that like have the wherewithal before you do to think like, hey, coach, like, this isn't something you want to do. And then secondly, now the kids are scared shitless as they're going to the dugout. One of them probably watching their father fight an umpire in a 10-run game of a 12U baseball game. It's
100%.
it's gross.
100%, man. Like 12U. We're talking about development at that age, man, and we're throwing haymakers. We're throwing haymakers, man. So we've talked about, man. Obviously, we want to be like a guiding light. You want to have the right people in place, but dude, that can't. That's crazy. I feel like that definitely can't happen, man. I don't know if there needs to be like a step up in the vetting of the coaches. They're obviously volunteers, dude, right?
Yeah.
They're not. You're not getting paid, man. But maybe the quality. There needs to be a little bit more of a requirements and stuff. I don't know if anger management, background checks are supposed to be a thing, dude. But that's fucking nuts. You know what I mean? That's tough. That's tough. That's really tough. It's not really sending the great message. I understand. Yeah, it's extremely embarrassing moment. I'm sure the lowest of his career, bro. I feel like we see it more and more, dude. Dude? We're talking about millions of dollars on the line every single day in the big leagues, and when these managers get screwed on a call, right? They come out, they back their guys up, they let these guys absolutely have it, and then they get tossed, and that's it,
That's
right?
it.
It's
That's
not do or
it.
die here in Little League, man. I understand it might be like the state championship or the playoffs, but whoa, 12U, 12U.
12U. And dude, like you said it also, man, like millions of dollars on the line, and like jobs, livelihoods on the line. Like, winning and losing is everything. It's the food on your table, and you don't see those people acting like that. So it's like you said, there's, as much as it sucks to lose, and I get it, especially, you're in a state tournament. Like, I get it stinks, but there's no place for that. There's no place for that. And unfortunately, this isn't the first time that we've talked about it. This isn't the first time we've seen it. And I'm going to venture to say that where this whole youth space is going, it's not going to be the last time either.
100%. 100%. We got Brick Wall saying, I think it goes back to the pressure and the focus put on winning and not development with these youth coaches, man. I think you're 100% right. We just had a comment. Dude, I think you're 100% right. We just had a comment on one of our posts that we had, Deans, where what was it? JJ Vegas 2024. He said kids shouldn't play club ball until 13U. 12 and under, keep it at Little League, save money, let them have fun. I get everybody's got different strokes for different folks. I like the idea, right? I like the idea. Obviously, that might not be ideal for every single person, and but
Yeah.
teach them to have fun first, man. Develop, teach them fundamentals, teach them values, right? We don't need to be throwing fucking haymakers 12U, bro. It's insane. It's absolutely crazy, dude. So a couple of years back, 2022, this same place, the same field, the same complex in Wilson, North Carolina, there was an 8U game a couple of years back, and there were shots fired at the Little League field, and like people that were there watching the game, they heard and felt bullets whizzing by and stuff. No one was, I don't think, no one got caught. No one got hit or anything, dude. But That's crazy. I'm not necessarily sure what kind of area Wilson, North Carolina is, but it's going to start making me question what do we got going on around Wilson. You know, keep the environment right. 12U, that's crazy. 8U, shots fired. Shots fired at an 8U game. We got strictly catchers here in the chat saying, "What's up, boys? Appreciate you stopping in."
What's up,
Um,
Strictly?
dude, we got let's see here. What else we got? So we hit the home run all-star game, dude. Stinks. 12U fight. So we talked about what was going on with this, the third base coach and reacting versus responding, right? So here at the Nine Hole Podcast, obviously we want to talk about development. We want to talk about concepts that helped us get to the big leagues, right? Feels good to be able to say that. It's the truth, man. We as 14th rounders, we had to go through some shit, especially being from the Northeast, and we had to do things differently, especially in here to separate. Right. So I want to talk two things, man. Responding versus reacting. And then when you're getting kicked in the face, dude, with adversity, being able to perceive it as a challenge or perceiving it as a threat. I feel like that's who we will that's sorry, I'm reading a thing. My wife, hey babe, thanks for being here. She says, who actually won the home run derby? Aroldis Garcia from the Dodgers. Beat out.
Teoscar Hernandez.
Oh yeah! Wow. Who did I say?
I don't know.
Aroldis Garcia. Who's that? Fuck. Who's Aroldis Garcia?
Aroldis Hernandez.
I have no idea, bro. But I said it. I knew that that's who won it. Holy shit!
Your wife's setting you up there.
Oh my god, I'm sweating, babe. Stop messing around, babe. This is my show, okay? You're ruining it for me. Don't embarrass me. Okay, Brick Wall.
So funny.
Brick Wall said it's the same, but it's different. Yeah. So close. I think I know who I'm talking about. I don't even know who I'm talking about. Okay, so dude, what do we got on responding versus reacting, dude? So we talked about it in the big leagues. There's a whole bunch of stuff that goes on. You go through the minor leagues, you go through college. Obviously, you're a dude.
Good player.
You get to the big leagues, man. Good player, Nick Lopez, Aroldis Hernandez, dude. Nicky Lopez struck me out a bunch in my minor league career. I know that. I remember that curveball, dude.
Nicky
Biloxi.
Lopez. Nicky Lopez. I think
I'm
you
thinking
got the
wrong guy again, bro.
Lopez.
Stinks. I don't even know, dude. Are we even talking about baseball anymore? So
Nicky, Nicky's in here. Nicky, Gold Glove finalist on the infield, but you got a banger of a curveball,
Jesus.
kid.
Thanks for showing up, Nicky. I'm so sorry. Boy, here we go. So let's talk about responding versus reacting. My wife is just sending me just down a wormhole. The wheels are spinning here, boys. The wheels are spinning. Oh my goodness. So let's talk about responding versus reacting. Thank you for laughing, Nick. Jesus, man. I'm sorry about that, bro. Gold glove. With the curveball. All right, dude. So responding versus reacting, man. What's the importance of being able to separate from the results, separate from any type of external shit that's going on, dude? Let's talk about being a good teammate, right? Let's say if you're 0 for 4 and you're going through a terrible just slump, responding to it versus reacting, man. How many times have you seen a teammate? Hopefully it's not somebody that's here in this chat, right? How many times have you seen a teammate that's been going through it and just absolutely reacts and is throwing shit? Have you ever been hit with flying equipment after an out or a strikeout or anything, dude? So like when we talk about responding versus reacting, being able to kind of like sit there, take it in, not necessarily just act on emotions, throw haymakers in a 12U game, dude. My first day in AA, my hitting coach almost got hit with a helmet that was spiked from like the best hitter on the team, dude. Threatened to kill him on site. My first day in AA, he said, "I'll break your neck. You ever hit me with a piece of fucking equipment, dude?" I'm like, "Yo, this is really what AA's about, man. This was what AA's about." Deans, have you ever had any of those like instances, man, where you're dodging gear, dude? What do you got on like responding versus reacting, man? What could it do for kids maybe going through a slump or something, dude? Maybe think about it the right way.
Yeah. Well, here's what I'll say is like as long as you play the game, you're going to go through slumps, and you're going to go through a slump just like the guy next to you is going to go through a slump. And a lot of times we've talked about being a good teammate and how you're going to be remembered as a person, because ultimately that's how people remember you. They'll remember you as a player, but more so how you treated people. So exactly that. Like, everybody is going to go through that, and kind of how you react in those times really kind of sets the tone for who you are as a person. And I've seen it. I've seen guys, first off, I have gotten hit with equipment in low A. I got hit, and actually, like, I kind of just kept my mouth shut. I was in a position where I couldn't really fight anybody, and if I did, I'm
I get it.
probably on the first bus home. But so I just pulled the kid aside. He was a younger kid than me. I was older at the time, and just kind of gave it to him. Like, it's not about me and you hitting me, but like, you're going to hit somebody. You keep doing that kind of shit, you're going to hit somebody that either they make decisions or they have direct contact with people that make decisions, and don't let that be something that somebody can say about you. So, but on the flip side of that, I've seen teammates that are like going through the shit, man, and they just, you wouldn't see anything out of them. And it's those guys that I respect the hell out of, that like, I had no idea whether they were doing good or bad. And those players are guys
Yeah.
those are the players, believe it or not, that are having the longest careers, because it's like, hey, I'm going through the shit. Inevitably, I'm going to at certain points of the year. It's like, I believe in my process. I believe in, my intentions, and I'm going to get my way out of it, and I'm going to fight and claw my way back. So you've seen both. And I've seen players that tons of talent, just a complete shitbag. Ones that do throw equipment and make it about them. There was nothing really more cringy. And I'm not going to sit here and say I've never done it, because I have, like, gotten pissed to the point where, like, I'll leave the dugout and go take my anger out, like, on my own. Like, I don't really want other people to be, around when I do that. But, you don't want to do that. So, like, being able to respond I think it's a flex of a trait instead of being
Hell yeah.
reactive. You know what I mean?
Hell
Like,
yeah, dude.
your ability to respond to the adversity instead of react and think and act out, without, like, good conscience, and just do it that way. Like, a lot of times you end up doing shit that you're going to regret, and you're going to either have to be the guy standing up in front of a team meeting, apologizing to your teammates, and going into your coach's office, your manager's office, and apologizing to him for how you acted like a shitbag the day before. And it's just, you give people something to say about you. Like, let it be about what you're doing on the field. Don't let it be about anything else off of it.
Love that, dude. I love that. I'm still trying to, like, I can't believe I don't even know who Aroldis Garcia, bro.
He is a
So
player, by the way, Millie. Like,
he's
you're
in there
not wrong
somewhere.
there. He
Yeah,
was
he's
in
in
the
there
home run
somewhere.
derby. He was in the home run derby.
Okay. That's where I
Like,
got
he
that
he
from.
he was a participant. He's Texas. Like,
I'm all
what?
over the place, brother.
You're all over it. You got him. You got him.
Let's go, baby.
You're there.
Dude. So we talked about adversity a little bit. It's been the common theme. This will be the last thing we hit on. Again, I love everybody for being here. Before I leave, of course, I'm gonna forget this, dude. The sponsor of today's stream, the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Man, the Cleveland Student Visionaries of the Year. 7-week challenge, man. These high school leaders, they raise as much money as they can for blood cancer, dude. They learn a whole bunch of things: professional growth, professional skills such as entrepreneurship, marketing, project management, all raising as much money as possible for blood cancer. Man, check them out. Links up top. It's a great organization, great people, man, great cause. Appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate the sponsor of today's stream. So, last thing we'll talk about, like I said, man, the Nine Hole podcast has been built on adversity, overcoming adversity. Having the nine hole mindset is like having the chip on your shoulder, right? Using the, hey man, I'm in the nine hole as a fucking, as fuel for the fire, as opposed to a woe is me type, dude. I'm in the nine hole, stinks. You know what I mean? So when we talk about perceiving challenges, excuse me, when we think about perceiving adversity as a challenge versus a threat, these in your career, what has that looked like, man? So what have been things that you've absolutely just gone up against that you either had to say, dude, I'm going through it, or I'm like running away from it, bro?
I would say every single aspect of my game. Like, I'm a 5'8" converted infielder that turned catcher. Didn't get any money, drafted in the 14th round. Like, it's just, it's all complete uphill. You know what I mean? And it's like there were times where I felt like I got, kicked in the you know what, but like it that's life. That's life. You're gonna get hit in the face, and it's the strong that survive, and that's in anything, man. It's not just baseball, it's life. You're gonna get like you might get laid off from your job, you might get a demotion, like whatever the hell it may be. And it's like you can't let those instances define you. You can't let what happens to you be who you are. It's like you have to be true to your core values. And my core value was I'm just gonna work my ass off, plain and simple. And I'm going to let the chips fall where they may. If somebody told me, hey, you're not good enough, well, hey, guess what? I'm not good enough. I'll be good at the next thing. But that didn't happen. I mean, it happened at 30 years old, but like as I'm a 22, 23, 24-year-old trying to navigate through this new life that I'm living as a professional ball player, kind of trying to work through the minor league system, there's been plenty of times where, I felt it's all stacked up against me, but it also, I think, has made me who I am. And I sit here and I wear the idea, like the fact that I call myself the cup of coffee. I had a cup of coffee in the major leagues, and I wear that as a badge of honor because I know that there are a lot more people like me we talked about the 90 percenters. I know there are a lot more of us than there are those Bobby Witt Juniors that we alluded to earlier that are just complete freakazoids that can do things that other humans just can't. I take pride in being like one of those guys that like kind of defied the odds in a way, and made it to a place where a lot of people probably didn't believe I could make it. Um, and I think a lot of it is just that, like, put your head down, go to work, and don't let anybody tell you what you're capable of, because nobody's nobody's watching what you do. You know what I mean? Nobody
Love it.
knows that burning fire that you have within you. I would dream of having a hit in the major leagues, like putting on a major league uniform. Like that would be like thoughts that I had while I'm in REM sleep. So it was
100%.
just like nobody was going to tell me differently. And that's
I love it.
proud to be able to say that. So
Hell yeah, dude. When like this is just like kind of my take on it. So everybody in baseball is going to go through shit, right? Everybody's going to fail 7 times out of 10 and then be an all-star, right? Obviously, dude, no matter I feel like the best players obviously they don't let the internal voice be affected by the external factors, right? So you always had the burning desire. You're dreaming about it, no matter what the situation is. Dude, you're 5'8", or you get taken in the 14th round as a senior sign, right? All those external factors and the swimming like upstream, climbing uphill and shit year after year, bro, just didn't affect the internal voice. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That's what I feel when I read that, bro, which I absolutely love. And being able to pull it off, man, what?
And another thing too, man, is like I think it's important for people, and that's why I kind of love this day and age, because you do kind of get access to these athletes in a way that you never did before through social media, and like podcasting becoming such a thing. Like you can hear these guys and see these guys and kind of get into their minds a little bit. But I don't think most average people, and I say average like maybe not like people that are in the baseball world like at that level, what they don't see is the grind and struggle that these guys go through. Like they have the best players in the world have faced adversity at some point in their career. They've gone through those stretches that you and I have gone through. They don't just go through their career unscathed, like with no hiccups whatsoever. Like they're good. They go through the shit just like everybody else. And yes, they're supremely talented. There are a lot of talented players. Those guys have the ability, like you said, to not let the external factors get in the way of the internal voice, and they can get themselves out of it and just continue to go. So I think that's a huge and important point for, kids that have dreams of playing at that level, man, is like, you're going to go through your slumps, your valleys, your peaks, like, but your ability to just stay right here, because that's what the best do. They go through it just like you do.
Amen. Amen, brother. I love that. Man, that's all I got. That's all I got, Deans. You got anything else you want to add before we get out of here, brother?
No, I'm good, man. That was Pleasure as always
Hell
to
yeah.
be on here and chop it up with you. I love talking ball. So
Likewise.
appreciate it, Mill.
Likewise. I appreciate everybody for being here, man. This was awesome. We'll plan on catching everybody back here again next Wednesday. Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. Bring your questions, bring your comments, man. We'll address everything. We'll answer everything, man. Appreciate everybody being here. Dean's you the man. Looking forward to next week, bro.
Appreciate you, Mill. Have a
All
good
right.
week, bro.
Take
All
care,
right.
guys.